Hey, it's Aaron and welcome to this bonus module. These are the 6 fast cash profit accelerators that you can install in your business today. Now, this following module is something that I'm super excited about. I'm super excited and proud and honored to share this with you. These are the top 6 strategies that my Platinum Mastermind members are using and have been successful with. And this is something that I'm not actually going to teach you. I'm going to let my Platinum Mastermind members teach you what's working in their businesses, in their own words, and how they've implemented these strategies to accelerate their business growth and scale their time, income, and impact. So, wherever you are right now, whatever program you're in with me, your ultimate destination is the Platinum Mastermind coaching group that I run. This is where I work together personally with passionate physical therapists and healthcare entrepreneurs to take their business from $5,000 a month to $20,000, or $22,000 a month to $64,000 a month, or where you're going to get 2 days off a year or 2 weeks off a year and 80 days off a year. This is the place where you're going to learn exactly what you need to do now and over the next 90 days to 10x your income. And before we even talk about what that might look for you, I am just super excited to share with you these 6 fast cash profit accelerators that you're going to use and install them in your business. Number 1, you're going to hear from Elizabeth Kennedy, and she's going to teach you how to run a free total body diagnostic exam and convert over 95% of your prospects to cash paying patients, even if you're a mobile therapist and you drive to their home for a free visit. Which is incredible to think. Like, a lot of times you think, oh, well, it shouldn't be 95% conversion rate. But if you're going to drive to someone's home as a mobile therapist, you want to be pretty darn sure that this person is right for you and this is exactly what you're going to learn. And then if you move that into your brick and mortar business or your business in a gym or your other business, you're going to be massively successful. And then what you're going to learn is the next strategy you're going to learn is from Derek Nielsen. Derek is my private coaching client who moved to Durham, North Carolina, had no connections. He didn't know any physicians, personal trainers. He didn't have any friends there. He just went with his girlfriend to Durham, North Carolina, opened a cash-based practice, and in 12 months, he generated $96,207. He actually did $10,000 in his first 6 weeks. In his 8th month, he was doing $15,000, and he did that without spending any money on ads. And you're going to learn his marketing strategy that he used to build relationships in the community and run workshops to crush it in his business. And then you're going to learn from Preston Brown. Preston Brown came to work with me. He was like, Aaron, I want to convert my business to all cash practice. And I was like, well, what are you doing, Preston? And he's like, well, I'm going into skilled nursing facilities and we're the long-term care centers and working with people through Medicare and Medicaid, et cetera. And I was like, well, are you doing well? Yes. Are you making money? Yes. And he's like, well, what do you want? He's like, I want more time with my family so I can coach other physical therapists to teach them how I, grew this business. And I was like, great, let's do that. And over the course of a year after enrolling in the Platinum Mastermind, he's added 8 other employees. He scaled his business. He's making money in a cash-based online fitness program we built together. And now he's working on continuing to grow that business while helping other physical therapists. And from Preston, you're going to learn the 90-10 rule about how to ask the right questions and follow up and build relationships so you can 10x your business too. Then you're going to learn from Amanda Zarriello, who came to me to work together, and she was making about $5,000 a month in the first few months, just through our 1 required ethical influence training that all my Platinum Mastermind members are required to take. She went from $5,000 a month to $15,000 a month. And then over the course of the next 8 months, we worked together to build up her systems and grow her business because she was pregnant and knew she wanted to take time off when she had her baby. So we got her to $24,000 a month, hired another PT, And the month she hired the PT, which is in the middle of the pandemic, she had her best month ever in like July 2020. And then she was able to take her 12-week maternity leave while still running her business and crushing it. So you're going to learn from her how to leverage free community events and networking groups to take your practice from 5K a month to 24K. And then you're going to learn, number 5, you're going to learn from Ben Bagge. And Ben is one of my most successful Platinum Mastermind members who, right out of PT school, built a cash practice and made over 6 figures in his first year. Remember, I also did that too, but I didn't make 6 figures in my first year. I went right from PT school, and now after years, I've downloaded that information to Ben. Ben generated 6 figures his first year, and in his second year, he went from $22,000 a month when he started the Platinum Mastermind to $32,000 in 3 months. And then 10 months later, he was making over $64,000 a month. He took a month to go to Southern California to hang out, and then plan on like opening a second location. We moved back to Iowa. And Ben is someone who just crushes it and takes action. And you're going to learn from Ben. Like, Ben's got a massive amount of reviews in Oakland, California for his business. And you're going to learn from Ben how to automate your online reviews, whether it's Google or Yelp or Facebook, so you can dominate the local Google search listings and take your clinic from 20K to 64K a month. And then finally, you're going to learn from Alexis Sams, who is Entrepreneur of the Year in 2020 from PT BizCon. And Alexis is someone who came to me doing part-time home health, but she was making 6 figures as a home health therapist. So she was doing part-time working with dancers and making 6 figures in home health. And we took her business and grew it so she could leave a 6-figure job to grow her business and travel the country teaching other dance professionals and doing private sessions with professional dancers. And then during COVID, we pivoted her to all online. And you're going to learn from Alexis one of the most important lessons you can ever learn. It's how to get a massive ROI, or return on your investment, by investing in yourself. I hope you enjoy this training. I would love to know your big takeaways and what you take action on. So you can always just go post that in the group. But enjoy the training. And then at the end, we'll wrap it up. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video and speaking with you very soon.
This is where you may want to get some pen and paper, because I'm going to give it to you, everything that I do. And what I want to encourage you is take the big bullet points, and then later today or this evening, reflect on them and figure out what your truth is. Because my truth may not be your truth. My truth is people that are trapped in addiction, that are trapped in chronic pain, that are trapped in the mindset of I can't be anything else. But your truth might be something different than that. You might work with kids, you might work with athletes, and that's okay, but you have to find your own truth and then apply it to these steps, okay? So the first one was I started speaking to my perfect patient, and Jessica really covered that well. Finding out who they are. And so I had my avatar. It was these 2 women that I was currently working with. But what I really realized is that my avatar was people that are hurting and broken and stuck and felt bound and like trapped. Okay. So I started speaking to those people. Okay. And for me, it wasn't necessarily anymore, oh, this is Susie and she's 40 years old and she has 2 kids. I did relate everything back to these patients, but I really said, what is the message that I want to get across and who do I want to help? Because my perfect patient isn't somebody, I've had people tell me this, and this was a big aha moment for me. I went in and I did one of my free visits, and I asked the guy that was sitting in front of me, I said, what would it mean to you to not have to take these pain meds every day? And he said, well, nothing. I mean, like, I'm okay taking them. I won't get addicted to them. It's okay. I don't necessarily not want to take them. And I told him, said, I can't help you then. I said, I can only help you if you're ready to be free of this. And so I had to own that. And that was really hard to walk away from because I want to help people, right? But I had to own that and say, these are the people that I help. And if you don't fit into that mold, like I will continue to talk to you and maybe you will grow into that. But if you can't fit here, and that's what I would encourage you is when you're finding your perfect patient in your avatar, stay specific on them. There's a lot of noise out there and you might feel like people are passing you by, but conversion relies on you getting the person that you speak to in your door or in front of you. Okay. So the second thing I did was I did a phone interview with everyone, whether you Facebook messaged me, filled out an online form. If you called my clinic or my clinic number, I obviously did a phone interview, but no matter what, I did not schedule anyone without sitting and talking to them on the phone. And this took about 30 minutes. It still does. I still do it. It takes about 30 minutes. And during this phone conversation, I do ask some questions, but I really just listen. You will be amazed if you just ask someone, you say, hey, what's your name? And you say, what's going on that you called me today or that you wanted my help? And it might be superficial at first. I hear a lot of, well, I have back pain, or I've been told I have a herniated disc. And my next question is always like, okay, well, what's that doing to your life? Not how bad is your pain, not what is it at the worst or the best, or what is it doing to your life? How is this affecting you? And people will start opening up. I won't say never. They rarely have a medical professional or a doctor ask them this. I hear it all the time. It's like, oh, you actually want to know? Yeah, I want to know. And for about 20 minutes, I'll just listen to people. And you just let them talk. You're helping them solve their own problems. You're helping them feel heard, and then that someone out there really cares about how they feel. At the end of that phone conversation, I offer a discovery visit. And everyone gets a free discovery visit. Everyone gets a phone call and everyone gets a free discovery visit. So at the end of at the phone conversation, I say something along the lines of, wow, that's an impactful story. I'm sorry that you're going through that. I would love to help you. And then I state back whatever their goal is. I had a guy last week, he said, I'm really afraid that I'm going to have to quit my job. And I have 4 kids and a wife. I said, wow, that must be super stressful for you. I'm sorry that you're having to worry about that right now. I would love to help you feel secure in going back to work next week. Okay. What I offer for anyone that wants my help is a free discovery visit, or I'd call it a total body diagnostic assessment. So what I offer for anybody who wants my help is a free total body diagnostic assessment. And most people, well, everyone's like, oh, that sounds great. There are a lot of people that are like, that's fine. I want the eval though. Like if you give me an eval, and I say, yeah, I'll give you an eval, but we're going to start with this total body diagnostic assessment. It is no commitment and no cost. And I did this even when I was going into people's homes. And I have so many people ask me, they're like, you went and spent 30 minutes on the phone and then 30 minutes in someone's house. You spent an hour of your time and you didn't know if you were going to make a penny. Yeah, because my why is helping people break free of chains. It's not making $100 an hour or $200 an hour or $300 an hour. It's helping people break free of chains. And if I stay authentic to that, then my actions will guide me. So I go in, or now people come to me, but I would go into someone's home, and during that phone interview, I would either have my notebook and I'd be writing, or if I was sitting at my computer, I would be typing. Because again, I'm not really talking a lot. They're telling me their whole story and I'm typing it out. And I'd go to this discovery visit and I would have the subjective portion of my eval template filled out with their story. And I'd say, hey, Mrs. Jones, so nice to meet you. I'm so glad that we get this opportunity to sit down together and see if we can get you, and I would repeat their goal back to them. My goal today is to help you reach your goals. Okay. But what I want to do first, before we do anything else, is I want to go over what you told me on the phone. I want to make sure that I understand what you told me and that I didn't misinterpret anything. Or maybe there's some more information that you remember now that you didn't tell me then that you can fill in the gaps. And so I say, I have my notes here. I'm just going to kind of go through what I recall. And I tell them their phone conversation, their story back to them. And you will not believe how many people sit in front of me and they're like, you actually listened when I was talking? Like, people tell me that. And I'm like, well, yeah, I listened to you. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much my story right now. Can you help me? And then I take them through a brief movement assessment and the total body diagnostic assessment, or the discovery visit portion of visit. Okay. And I give them all the information, literally everything I can. I don't usually do anything hands-on. If someone, for example, if someone comes to me, say with a shoulder pain, and they're like, yeah, I think maybe I tore my rotator cuff, or they tell me I have to have surgery, I might do some special tests of the rotator cuff where I will put my hands on them there. But I don't do any treatment or any manipulation or anything like that. It's really, I will touch them and say, okay, it hurts here, because touch is so powerful. And then at the end, after we've gone over their story and I've watched them move and done a couple of just very basic testing for what they're coming in for, I'll sit down with them and educate them about exactly what I think is going on, exactly what I'm going to do to fix it, and a timeline. And I'll ask them if they want to move forward. And 100% of the time it's yes. And by move forward, and I explain to them, move forward means today that I will give you a treatment. So we will do a brief treatment session and you will walk away with 3 exercises to incorporate this week and a plan moving forward. That's my conversion from a discovery visit to an eval, which in the last 9 months has been 100%. Okay. Then at the end of the eval, I say, okay, so we finished the eval. Here's your plan. Okay. This is what we're going to do to get started. And this is what I recommend for you. I tell them, like, to meet your goals and do X, it's going to take X. And I only sell in programs. That's going to be my complete PT program. And it's a health investment of $1,500. I can't even think of my prices right now, but health investment of $1,500. And just like many of you, I'm sure I'll get the, ooh, I don't know. Okay. I want to do that. Okay. I say, here's the deal. I do have some people pay in full up front. And if that's something that you want to do, I do offer a 10% discount for programs that are paid in full. But then I offer them something else. And this, I truly believe, is where my 90 to 95% conversion rate from an eval to programs comes in. Because if I go back to my authenticity, I believe in financial freedom. Okay. I believe that finances bind us way more than we'd like to admit. I also believe that people need help, and gosh darn it, if I can't help you because you can't afford it, like, that hurts me. Literally, that is something that I have a really hard time reconciling, is people that truly need help but aren't getting the help they need because they don't have the means or the resources. And especially in an opioid crisis or an addiction crisis, or a mom that came to me and said, I tried to commit suicide last week. Like, I'll be darned if your kids don't get their mom for the rest of their life because you can't afford it. So that's where I offer a payment plan. And it's not a 3-month payment plan. It's not a 6-month payment plan. It's not a 9-month payment plan. I literally tell them, I say, okay, you have the option to pay in full, but here's the deal. I don't want you to walk out of here not getting the help you need, to not live a life of freedom that you deserve, that your kids deserve, that your husband or your wife deserves, that your employer deserves, but that you deserve too. So here's the deal. I offer a payment plan. It's all about you. Everything I do in this clinic is all about you. It's all about my patients. I am here to serve you. And here's the options. You can choose weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and you tell me how much. And we will make it work. The only thing I ask is that it is paid off within 12 months, 365 days of this date, and that you have a card on file and you do it via auto draft, because you may be paying after your program is over 95% of the time. And there are a couple people that'll walk away. And 2 weeks ago, I had someone, and I honestly think that it was a spousal thing. They're of a different culture, whatever. So there are a few, but generally, I've now taken down all the barriers, right? That's what we're doing as healthcare providers, is we're breaking down barriers. There is no reason to say no at this point. And so they say yes, and they opt in. And it's funny because I was talking, my mom is my CPA, and I was talking to her earlier this week about finances and what's going on now. And I don't have people walking in my door right now. And I'm not worried about it. I'm still able to put content out. I'm still answering the phone. I'm answering my clients. And I'd be lying if I said like, oh, I didn't have a little bit of stress because I don't have clients coming in my door. But I've built my business on financial freedom. And so I'm not stressing about how I'm going to pay my bills this month. And that is one of the reasons I started as a mobile therapist. I started with $1,000 in my pocket. And I said, I will grow my business as I have the means to grow my business. And it might be a little slower, but at least I know that I can talk authentically to people, because when someone comes in my door, I'm not worried about, oh, am I going to get $197 for the eval? Am I going to get $1,000? Like, can I get them in a program? I literally want to help them, and I'm able to help them truly and authentically because myself, I'm financially free and I'm offering them financial freedom.
So the first thing that I struggled with was, okay, how do I get leads? How do I get people, get myself in front of people? Because I didn't know anybody. And I didn't have money for marketing. I don't have money for Facebook ads, Google. I don't have money for anything. So how do I get leads? And that's what the exercise that Aaron had everybody do, like, where's your perfect patient? And just, he already went through all of this. And so mine was going out and reaching out to the gyms. I went to some group meetups, like meetup.com type stuff. It didn't work out for me. There was many times that I went and met people that didn't work out. But there's a few times that it worked out, and it worked out really well. So you will have, if you're like me, you're going to have a lot of these meetings with people that just isn't going to turn it into anything. But then you're going to have a select few that it's like, holy shit, that just made my 6 months. And so you want to continue to nurture those relationships and make sure you hold on to the good ones, because there's going to be a lot more that don't work out than do. But I had the most success at a kettlebell gym that's fairly close to me. She let me go in there and do some workshops, movement screen type stuff. And then just like Aaron, I met Burn Boot Camp. For the record, I met them first. Burn Boot Camp, and that worked out for me, and I'm still getting patients from them. And I haven't been there for months. And then I did reach out to other healthcare providers, so I would recommend find somebody that's a physician assistant that owns their own clinic. She sent me 8, 10 patients. I haven't had one for a while, but a physician assistant that owns their own clinic is a great person to reach out to. Chiropractors are great people to reach out to. The ones that do a crack you and send you, they're looking for somebody like us, because they know they can be a solution for people that have more of the chronic pain, that have more soft tissue type issues. They're looking for somebody. So reach out to chiropractors. I reached out to a dietitian. It was actually a weight loss MD. It hasn't turned into anything, but the relationship's there. I reached out to a direct primary care physician. That's another one everybody should look into, because they are cash-based physicians. And there's a possibility. She hasn't sent me anybody either, but it's still, the relationship is there.
Building relationships is a big concept. Applying, and then this is number 2 factor or the key, but applying things like sales principles to our relationships. I want you to stay connected and follow up with people, and then be consistent and communicate. So let's go through that. So with applying sales principles to relationships, one of the things I've started doing is I started using a 90-10 rule. And this 90-10 rule is pretty cool. What you do is you think about 90% of the conversation. So you're building a relationship, you're talking to someone, they're talking. And 90% of the time, or the 10% that you speak, you're asking questions about the thing that you're wanting to know about. So this could be an evaluation. This could be a person you're meeting for the first time at a networking event. But you want them to speak 90% of the time, and 10% of the time you're asking questions. It's challenging, but that's a good way to build relationships because they're talking about themselves. You're learning more about them, and also too, you're listening. And that's a big factor with building a relationship. The other thing is when you're doing meetings, you want to mirror the person's body language. You want to do these little soft skills. Think about, don't be creepy. That's the other thing. Don't be a creeper. You want to, make eye contact. There's like this concept of looking, one eye for 10 to 15 seconds, the other eye, 10 to 15 seconds, their mouth, 10 to 15 seconds. They call it the inverted triangle. This isn't pelvic health, but you're looking, but you're not necessarily being creepy about it, okay? Because no one likes creepy. Social distancing, right? Think about that because that is important. Some people don't like you all in their space, and that's okay to be aware of that. The other thing too is you want to follow up or build some type of connection with them. So I use email follow-ups, I use phone calls, I use check-ins. One thing Aaron taught me is to write a handwritten letter, lumpy mail, put something in that letter. I actually got a call back on that Friday or yesterday. Actually, they left a message and said, "Hey, thanks for the letter. That's pretty cool. Thanks for the gift." It's just something a little small, but lumpy mail is like putting like a pen or putting some type of object inside of the letter, because then when they get it, it's like it has some density to it. The other thing is consistency and communication. So making sure that you are staying consistent on schedule, making sure that you're doing things. I like to do things like make a call or text during my downtime or even when I'm driving. Remember to continue with the conversation like where it ended, because finding out someone's frustration, what they want to achieve, you just keep talking about that. And that's what you got to do.
I just started to get out into the community and just do events, like having a table, not even workshops yet. But I was taught like how to utilize that. So like collect emails, like it's all about collecting information so you have contacts to reach out to them. So I signed up for this golf event, and I put some materials together with how to prevent low back pain in golfers, collected emails, did a raffle, and I got one patient out of it that bought a full 10 package plan of care. So that paid for itself. I also did a couple health fairs, and the same model was just collecting emails, and I would have small talk with people that I did meet, and whatever issues came up, with back pain, shoulder, write a note down. And so I remember if I go email them, I can talk about what they were talking to me about, because otherwise I would have forgotten. So getting in the community was huge. Another thing with community is I'm a part of what's called BNI, Business Networking International, and I joined that. I've been in it for 2 years, and it's helped me tremendously. And if those of you who don't know, it's basically a group you meet with once a week that has all different professionals. So one PT, one lawyer, one realtor, one physical trainer, and you just build relationships, you ask for referrals, you help each other grow. And so that has made me, just this past quarter, I made $6,000 from referrals from that group, and it costs $800 for the year. So there's a lot of different groups, and if you want to try it, I would recommend going to different ones, because they're not all great, and you want to find that's a good match, but it's another way to get out in the community. So with the emails, I learned the holiday emailing. So I don't know if I learned that at Mastermind or with Aaron, one of his trainings, and buy one, get one. So I did a few email series with that to try to get more income, and that I made about $1,200 with that. for Black Friday deals. And I also started to try to grow my Google account, or Google reviews. And that was, I wrote an email that said, can you do me a favor? Like that was like in my subject line. And when you ask for favors, people are like more likely to help you out. And I think a salesperson taught me that a while ago. So then I got like 25 Google reviews. So that's just one thing I implemented. And then I started doing like just recently like a core class at the gym. Just another way to educate people and get to know people. But this group helped me kind of figure out like how to utilize it even more. So like offer maybe $100 off a discovery or an evaluation, you know, if there's an injury. So
actual stuff that you guys can do is come up with a good process of collecting reviews on Yelp and Google. One thing that we do is Aaron's done a good job of helping me with this. On the evaluation, we pre-frame it, be like, hey, Ms. Smith, if we can get you back to X, Y, and Z, the only favor I have in return is you share your story once we're able to do that. And so other people like you can get the help that they need. And then at the end of the plan, towards like when they have about 3 sessions left and they've met a lot of their goals, or they've stated they've been really happy with their progress, we say, hey, Ms. Smith, I know, I don't know if you remember, but during the evaluation, I asked the only favor would be that you leave a review for us. I'm super happy that you're happy with your care and the progress that you made. I think you have an awesome story. Would you be willing to share that with other people on Google and Yelp and tell your story, because it's going to help other people just like you find the help that they need. This is especially important if somebody's been to like other practitioners and they've been dealing with this for like 2 or 3 years, or over a decade, and they just have a hard time of finding the right person. Like, Ms. Smith, by sharing your story, you're going to help somebody else bypass all that and find the help that they need right away. Would you be open to doing this? And most of the time they're like, yeah, be super excited to do that for you guys, and I'm happy to do that. However, it takes time to follow up with those people. Like they say they're going to do it, and then they need some kind of like prodding and getting them to reminders to do it. And it's not because they don't want to do it, it's just they're busy. They forget about it. What we do after the initial evaluation, or sorry, not the initial evaluation, but after that session, we send them the links to our Yelp, Google, and Facebook, and say, hey, Ms. Smith, all you have to do is copy and paste your story into each platform and get that posted, and we'd really appreciate it. And kind of reiterate the importance of sharing their story and how appreciative we are of it, and letting them like, hey, we don't get referrals from physicians either. And we are largely based on the results that we get with patients. And so by you sharing your story, it helps us as a clinic as well. So that's a tidbit we throw in the email as well. The reason at the end of the plan of care is because a lot of times people need reminders. So next time you come in, we make a note in our documentation that, hey, we asked Mrs. Smith for a review last session. If they haven't done it, make sure to remind them. And so sometimes people need 2 or 3 reminders and to do it. So that's something we've been doing that's really helped us rank higher on Yelp and Google and produce these organic leads without having to do so much groundwork.
The first thing that I learned is the concept of return on investment. It is an active process when you're an entrepreneur, and the emphasis is on the word active. When I thought of the word investment, and especially return on investment, all I knew before being in the Mastermind program and working with this community of individuals, all I knew was like investment meant like stocks and bonds. You like have some money and you like give it to a stockbroker, you invest it, and then they do stuff with it, and then your money grows. Which, when you think about it, is a very passive approach. All you had to do was like give the stockbroker money. They probably do some stuff, and you may or may not be involved in those things that you do, or those things that they do, but all you really do is just give the money, for what I understand. That was kind of my understanding, or my only concept or foundation for the term investment. But what I've learned is return on investment. Active process. It's up to me to get my return on my investment. Like my investment is directly proportional to the amount of work I put into what I've invested in. Some of you may have heard me talk about the recent open house event that I had in 2018, and I put it in air quotes because the next time I do it, I'm not even going to call it an open house, because at the end of the day, giving your clients what they want, they don't really care what your house looks like. They don't care that my walls are white or what color, my posters are, or what my pictures look like. They want me to get them better. So moving forward into a community event, I'm going to position it and offer it more as a way to help my community. That point aside, I invested, or I thought I invested, a little over, I don't know, maybe like $1,000, a little over $1,000 in Facebook like marketing and like kind of advertisements. And I was like, okay, so if I get, somebody gets allows me to help them in working on a program, or, they buy one of my programs, then, I will have a good return on my investment. And that's not how it is. That can be a good outcome. We want that outcome, but getting that result is not just because I did the Facebook ad and had the event. I got out there and I talked to people. I followed up with people. I could have followed up better with people. I did collect emails and I did do some email automation, but I could have done better on that to get an even better return on my investment. I could have offered an additional follow-up event to get more people interested. I did tap into a whole new group of a dance community. I got like a lot of Irish dancers who actually came to that event. That allowed me to reach out to some Irish dance companies and start having conversations with those companies and let them know what I can do for their dancers and their performers. So being active in what I already invested into helped my success.
Oh man, wasn't that awesome? Those were some amazing fast cash profit accelerators. Now it's your turn to go install these in your business. And if you'd like to get some results just like these amazing people like Elizabeth, Derek, Preston, Amanda, Ben, or even Alexis, or Marcy and Julie and Amanda and Elizabeth or Jennifer, I mean, people like you who once thought that this wasn't possible, but now you can see how ordinary, passionate physical therapists just like you can achieve massive success and results by just taking action on the one or two things that you know are going to give you a 10x result. And the way that these guys have done that is by working together with me in the Platinum Mastermind group that I run. And what we do is not just give you a bunch of courses and information, is we sit down together and help you figure out exactly where you are right now in this moment in time. And then we get to spend some time with you getting clarity on your goals. So what's your 90-day goal? What's your 1-year goal and your 3-year goal? And then we give you a 90-day action plan to crush it. And actually in the Platinum Mastermind, we do this 3 times a year in our 2-day mastermind retreats. So we're going to start off with that and give you a 90-day action plan. And then we're going to meet over the course of a year 3 times. And my most successful mastermind members actually work with me over multiple years. And so what I'd love to do is invite you to a free strategy and scale session. And in this free call, what we're going to do is just get to know you. And then we're going to help you get clarity on your goals by asking you some questions. This is a free, vision, is almost like a vision and goal setting workshop that we do together. And then if at the end of the call we feel good about working together and we feel like we can actually help you achieve your goals and you'd like to work together with us personally, we'll invite you into the Platinum Mastermind and we'll talk about how that works on the call. But in the meantime, what I'd love for you to do is go to the link below, check out the page and fill out the business assessment and application and schedule a time to get on a call with me or my team. And we'll get on that call. We'll figure out where you are, where you want to go, and give you an action plan and a 90-day strategy. And we're going to crush it together because all we're doing is working to save 100 million people from unnecessary surgery. And I can't do that alone. I need passionate action takers just like you who are ready to go after it and help people get exactly what they need, which we all know is physical therapy and assessment by a skilled physical therapist so they can avoid pain meds, injections, and surgery. I'm looking forward to speaking with you and hopping on our implementation call and building that 90-day action plan together and working with you for years to come. Click the link below, check out the page, check out the other videos, apply for the call, and we'll speak to you soon.